it was a significant producer of high grade silver, and much we believe is left to be found.
Prismo Metals is a gold, silver, and copper exploration company with 3 projects in Arizona and 1 in Mexico. The company just received the permit for its initial drill program on the historic Silver King mine project. CEO Alain Lambert and Chief Exploration Officer Craig Gibson are here to go over the company's next steps and expectations for its coming drill program. I'm Martin Gagel with Market Radius Research. Please remember, this is neither recommendation nor investment advice. We're here to learn about the company. Gentlemen, welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Martin.
Good to be back, Martin.
So you issued your news release that you've got your drill program and you're starting to drill with, I think the drill expected to get on site on February 20th. Can you just give us a quick overview, maybe some key highlights of the news release and what investors should be expecting here?
Yes, Martin. Your viewers might recall that Silver King is a project that Prismo optioned last July. It's in a very favorable area of Arizona. It's less than an hour from Phoenix International Airport on the east side, and it is completely surrounded by very, very large players. Rio Tinto, BHP, that have the Resolution Copper. Ivanhoe Electric optioned some grounds in the same area back in mid-November of last year, and the mine is a historic producer from the late 1800s to early 1900s. We did significant amount of exploration on surface all of last year. We gained tremendous knowledge about the geology and how it fits in the big picture of the area. Where Resolution Copper Magma Mine is. And we applied for a permit in September. We got our plan of operation approved a few days ago by Forest Service. And as you mentioned, we will be starting phase 1 of drilling in and around the mine itself, the Silver King mine itself. And we selected a driller, and the mobilization is planned, as you stated, for Friday the 20th. And what we're trying to do is to, in the phase 1, is start at surface and gain a better understanding through our exploration of what was left behind when the mine closed in 1928. The last thing I would mention is the first time this project will be drilled. So it was a significant producer of high grade silver, and much we believe is left to be found, and it's never been drilled, and so we're pretty keen to get the driller on site on Friday.
What I find interesting about your program, it's 1,000 meters, which isn't a whole lot, but you're doing 9 holes. So obviously, a little over 100 meters per hole. It's an old, very high-grade silver mine. So I guess you're just trying to find the extensions of what they missed, what opportunities are there. So you're really staying, I don't know, close to the target, call it. Could you just sort of unpack a little bit the strategy of this drill program?
I'll let Craig answer that one. Before he does, I would like to note, having spoken with some retail investors and read online comments, remind people that a meter of drilling is every meter of drilling is not equal, in the sense that with 1,000 meters, if you drilled vertically to over the Resolution Copper deposit, you wouldn't even reach the deposit itself, which lies at 1,200 meters. So it's important that to keep that in mind. And with that said, Craig, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Alain and Martin. The plan here is to drill the upper parts of a steeply dipping, steeply plunging cylindrical body. And as stated, we've stated all along, our initial goal with the program is to drill just the upper parts of this, focusing on areas that we think were not significantly mined in the past. And we've got a model of the underground workings from from the upper levels down to over 900 feet. And the program here is to hit, the first part of the program is to drill this cylindrical ore body below the surface workings that were called a glory hole, went to about 70 to 100 feet below the surface, and above the first significant level, which is the 114-foot level. So there's a gap in there where there wasn't much mining. And our goal is to drill that with vertical and angle holes, and also to drill adjacent to the highest grade portion of the cylindrical body, because we think there's also going to be a lower grade or lower density mineralization adjacent to the very high grade core of the deposit. So that's the goal at the start. And again, as you said, it's 7 to 9 holes in the first pass. The first holes are only they're only about 200 to 300 feet deep, so they're not really deep. 90-meter holes. Of course, as Alain said, this district is well known for copper, and if we hit mineralization that's not expected, and it's not silver mineralization, we'll just continue a hole deeper into that. Our original program is 1,000 meters, but we have a complete program of 2,000 meters, so we have some room to work with there.
So you're being flexible depending on the results and what you're seeing coming out of the hole. You will adjust as needed.
Yeah, that's very important. In the first pass drilling on any deposit, you have to be flexible. I mean, we think we know pretty much what's going on, but there's uncertainties in the subsurface. So the goal is to test what we want to test, but also if we hit something different, we'll test that also. And I should point out, there are significant workings there in the past, and we've taken every reasonable precaution to avoid hitting those workings, or at least the significant workings, and also to drill at several different angles across the deposit to not only try to avoid workings, but also to attempt to determine the structural controls on mineralization, which are not very well understood because all this was, mined historically in the 1870s, 1880s, and a little bit in the 1920s. So there's very little modern information to go off of.
I might want to add as well, Martin, that when we talk about if we drill and we see something that's not necessarily silver related, it's important for your viewers to for me to tell them and share with them the story of the Magma mine. It was actually started the Silver Queen mine, and it was a very rich silver mine, very similar to what we have at Silver King. And then as they went down, they encountered more and more copper and grades that were at the time economic. They kept going, and then I think it was at the 1,500 feet level, they found a very rich copper vein, 10%. And then that became the Magma mine. And when that got down deep to 5,000 meters, they did underground work, exploration, which led to the massive discovery of Resolution. So we're aware of that. We're aware of the geology in the area, and it might be that not only Silver King is a big prize, the silver, but maybe something more significant even lies underneath it.
So the obvious sort of easy target here is the silver, but given that Resolution copper is just a couple of 3 kilometers away from you guys, that there could be some of that geology could be encroaching upon where you guys are, like at a deeper level, presumably.
Yes, and then Craig, you might want to also talk about what you've discovered in the Crown area and the Black Diamond area, because I think that ties in well with what we're talking about here.
Yeah, as you stated, we're starting off on the historic silver deposit, but just a few hundred meters away from that, there's a outcropping replacement deposit body that has 1 to 5% copper locally in it at the surface. This body, we don't think has ever been drilled either. And then immediately adjacent to this we've identified what we call the crown porphyry. And it's a pretty intense to moderate stockwork quartz veins with a lot of pyrite in it. And it looks like a high level mineralization over something that could have been Silver King or even a porphyry, a copper deposit. Uh, we think it's got potential to find copper mineralization underneath. We have some surface samples with gold and silver. We released a couple of news releases ago. It's pretty interesting silver and copper grade trade at the surface, and it's got all the alteration hallmarks of a porphyry copper system. So we have everything we need, including being in the right neighborhood. So we're excited to be on the silver deposit, but we have a lot more to look forward to coming down the road, I think.
And all of your, like the Silver King mine obviously is an old underground mine. All your drilling is from surface, or are you going to be doing on this pass or potentially on a future pass drilling from underground?
Right now it's all surface. And again, that's because we think that upper portion of the near surface portion of this steeply plunging body has not been, I shouldn't say significantly, but not has been extensively mined in the past. So we think with very shallow drilling from the surface with vertical and angle holes, we can test that near surface portion of the deposit. We know the very superficial portion was very high grade, native silver, uh, silver minerals, oxidized silver minerals that are common in superficial deposits, very high grade. And then at some point, let's say 200 to 300 feet down below the surface, there's also very high grade mineralization where surface weathering transported silver and it was redeposited as what they call supergene enrichment, we think, where you also had very high grade native silver and some secondary silver minerals. And between that, you have a zone that was not significantly oxidized. So it's a little bit tougher for the old timers to process this mineralization. It's the original silver ore, if you want, or silver mineralization, I should say, at the deposit. Still high grade, but not subject to this enrichment. So we think we have a significant potential of finding high grade mineralization in this gap that wasn't extensively mined in the past.
You're starting the process a week from now on the 20th of February. With your strategy for the drilling and the data, are you going to be sort of putting out data on each hole as it comes out, or are you going to collect all the all the drill data, sort of assess it, analyze it, and then come out with a more comprehensive view on on the whole drill program itself?
The latter, Martin, I would say. I think we owe it to ourselves and our shareholders to conduct the first 1,000 meters. Let's say that takes a month, and let's say for the last batch of assays, let's say another month. So a couple months from when we start drilling, we'll have everything. We do want to give Craig and his team the time to analyze it all, figure out what it's telling us. And based on that, we will make decisions on the next phase of drilling. As you know, Martin, investors are keen to get results, and we all sorts of styles. And at Prismo, we in that particular case, we'll conduct all of phase one. We'll gather all the data, and then we'll have one comprehensive news release. Do you want to add to that, Craig?
Yeah, I think you're right. Everybody's keen, and I'm also very keen on getting this drilling done. I'm very excited to be able to have an opportunity to drill such a famous deposit, very high grade deposit. And, we'll see what we come out. The drilling conditions could be more difficult than we think. So under ideal conditions, drilling could go very fast. So we'll see what happens, and then they'll put out the results as necessary.
So that sounds like we're whatever end of February, couple of months. So end of April, early May, something like that would be the rough timeline.
That's correct.
Good estimate.
All right. Okay. Have we covered everything, or is there anything else you want to highlight before we wrap it up here?
Last time we spoke, Martin, we mentioned Hot Breccia, which is the other project we have down the road from Silver King, which is a deep-seated, very large target, copper, right by the Christmas mine owned by Freeport. And so we increased our interest in the option agreement from 75% to 95% recently, with an option to get to 100%. And the strategic reason for us for doing that is that that path to 100% opened up quite a few opportunities for us to partner up with someone, because we remain committed to drilling 5,000 meters at Hot Breccia, and we remain committed to doing it this year. So when we last spoke, I said 3 to 6 months, we might have something. We've been very busy in advancing discussions with various people. So I think we're on track for being able to partner up with somebody that will have the capital that will lead to Hot Breccia being drilled this year.
Okay, more news to come then. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate the time and the update. All the best.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Martin.